think, already before at some point.
Did we?
No, nobody's ever heard of it. He doesn't exist. That's the thing. He only exists
doesn't exist.
in the DZXR-P.
He's a fucking android, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's really terrifying. I mean, look, I'm having great time right now, being everybody's friend in character, but it still scares the living shit out of me.
I don't want to upset anyone, but I am actually just an NPC. Not a real man.
Put it this way, this guy likes to drive a long distance around Livonia when you're going from A to B, especially if situations arise that you need an extra bit of time to kill, he'll drive you around, right? Have you ever seen him try to nip into the bushes for a piss? No. Yeah? Have you ever seen him?
No, you're so fucking true, dude.
Right? I'm not even going to mention the fact that him and Batman have never been in the same room, but that's another arm and leg altogether.
No, but to be fair, about that whole, nip into a bush to take a piss, I also do, though, when I'm in the car with him, I smell a reek of aroma of piss, so I think he's just pissing his pants.
Sure, that's not just you, potentially. However, anyway, we're totally going down a wormhole right there.
Why am I wet?
That's what she
Why
said.
am I wet right now?
Yeah, that's what she said. So we are now, actually, for anybody that is interested who might or might not be watching, listening, so on and so forth, we are right now on 102.5, the frequency across Livonia, so if you have a radio or an ICOM device or a field transceiver or any piece of shit that'll pick up a signal, you can get that in-game right now. So again, this is another disclaimer, as it is on Twitch right now, provided everything's working okay, we're blasting, right? So we're just going to crack on. Providing everything is working okay, you can get us on Twitch, you can get us on your ICOM device in-game as well. But bear in mind, what we will talk about might involve meta stuff. We're pretty much going to break our own rules. Yeah, so this is the time we chew our own belt. Just bear that in mind, have a bit of discretion, just be conscious. We'll probably jump in and out talking about characters and certain things we might talk about that might actually be information that you shouldn't use in-game. You get the drift, so on and so forth. Disclaimer over. Rico moves the lad. Hey, welcome to the Tower.
Yo.
A new venue.
Thanks, man.
For the podcast. I've just realised, obviously, we're broadcasting on Twitch as well, so I can only stare at your feet for so long. What the fuck's going on there, dude? Personal admin. What's going on?
Huh?
Yes, you. Yep.
What?
Mister.
My boots fucked?
Yeah. Who's it now? Giovanni?
Ah, they're alright. Giovanni, yeah.
Giovanni. Yes, and of course everybody knows, and if they don't, you've heard of Viktor, Mr. Volkov, who's also streaming this as well, on Muerto, yeah? Is that right? Did that sound cool?
The Scottish accent speaking Spanish is fucking very dumb. Cool. Muerto.
I love your accent. Is that your real accent?
It is. You and I have played NPCs where I've tried the Eastern European scary Russian guy. It doesn't work for me. Because the adrenaline
wasn't that bad.
The adrenaline starts pumping and then he comes out or something. Just a little bit at the end comes out, and before you know it, somebody's blasting on the iComs that Andy's robbed me and he's the nope. But yeah, so how was things since the last episode? You and Matt kind of covered base and held the fort for episode 2. Quite a nice chat actually.
Yeah, no, we just had a chat about the community as a whole.
I know,
how it's growing and how we're liking it. It was nice. It was good for anybody who didn't listen.
Oh, got you. I love that. Just that was just for clarity, make sure I wasn't being like a selfish dick or anything. I didn't want that to come across as a poor effort. But do you know what? I mean, there's been quite a couple of things. Honest, I mean, you've been busy these last couple of weeks, Darian. So and obviously, lots have actually been happening in Livonia. There's a lot of things that we'll touch on, I think, tonight, as well as look at things that we got on, such as one thing I've noticed. So the kill feed. There's so many kill feed entries been happening recently, I've noticed. We're not going to comment on any of them specifically right now, but just even in recent minutes, something's kicked off, which is quite interesting.
Way.
Yeah, we've
awesome.
An AUR from 0.9 meters away, straight into the torso.
Oh no!
Dead on impact.
I think I might know who that is.
I mean, I know, and I'm looking at that there, and I am mind blown. But yeah, obviously, but we don't know that in Canada. So yeah, well done. However, good effort.
Andy is rock hard right now.
I don't know. It was a bit close. You could have at least been a metre away for a justified good shot. You know, that's a spray and pray. But yeah, enough of the commentary on that. Other things that we kicking off. We have cannibals that have entered the country. We have potentially a Milsim community that's bounced in as well. A couple of guys setting up and hopefully looking to make use of the JSON assets that we can get doing. They're hopefully going to be set up. We've obviously got your guys as well. You've switched, moved over from the WMD, and your guys are creating certainly a ripple, I think, in the community. And from what I've heard actually in the last couple of days, what's been really interesting is that a lot of people are consulting in terms of with each other, not in a meta way, but just checking in on what the scope of expectation is, what people's limits are in acceptance. Because some people like to just RP and don't like to die. Oh,
yeah, of course.
That was scary. The torch just went out in the timber. But people have been checking in. Am I doing this right? Can I get this right? So on and so forth. And it's and it's working so well. And we've had tickets come through, and we've had just quiet messages and stuff. Because sometimes as an admin team, you will get stuff from other people that it's a place to vent because we're able to flip that switch to an extent. There goes a helicopter. That was completely meta. Yeah, I was going to say the entire server that are listening on 102.5 right now. Where's the tower? Yep, okay, right, en route. All we're going to hear now is an unleashed horror of small arms fire. There he goes. Darian's filling up the magazines, ready to go.
I just gotta make sure.
And yeah, here's me being the journalist with a chest plate.
Don't worry about it. I'll be right back, boys.
Brilliant. We'll get onto those things in a minute. We'll get onto that in a minute.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, wow. So in fact we'll do a little test as well to show people who might be watching who haven't yet acquired one. But yeah, so people have been checking in and stuff. So I got a message the other day from somebody, quite a real seasoned member of our community, both the DZXR-P and the Dead Zone element of it that preceded it, who ultimately got robbed. Ultimately got jacked of all weapons, their 4x4, and I think the majority of their clothes just left for dead. And recovered from it eventually, but had a pretty awful time of it. And I got a message, this is going to be, even if somebody's done it perfectly in textbook within the rules, people can get emotional and complain. I thought, no, complete opposite. Dude, whoever these guys are that just mugged me and did X, Y, Z, they're utter legends. That was the best RP experience I've had in a while. So there's a lot of that happening, which is amazing. I hope it
See,
continues,
that's the stuff that I like to hear. I like to hear when things go right, even if it's in a negative context, and people just enjoy the gameplay of it as a whole, and are enjoying people's company. I think we talked about it on the first episode. I don't care if I get shot in the fucking head. The game is about, in its core element, is about you lose everything if you die. You go into the game expecting that, I think people come to a roleplay server a lot of time and just expect never to die, which is where a lot of people do end up getting in trouble when they do want to play the bad guy, because, sometimes bad guys fucking do bad shit,
Mm-hmm.
But when that happens, it's great. When that happens and it's executed perfectly, and the person who was killed or robbed or whatever ended up being, I wouldn't say happy with it, but not pissed off to the extent of wanting to file charges. I think that's I think that makes me so happy, to hear.
Mm-hmm. And I think so. I was expecting you to finish there. I took a massive drink of my coffee, because it is 23 right now. And I appreciate this being an hour earlier than normal. Normal hours are midnight till 2, so for me, which is interesting. But no, so you saying that I'm that guy that found that that guy that came in was himself as a character and didn't understand that wider concept of RP. But thankfully, I've, as an opportunist, managed to kind of slip through the net and loophole it to an extent, I suppose, to be present of mind still. But I learned very quickly, and thankfully just through observation, and I think through even with Rico here, when we did the RP thing in Gleniska Airfield, was people shoot back. And I noticed a lot of
Yeah.
people having a hard time because it's, oh no, bad guys are coming after me. But because there's a perceived threat, they'll react to a perceived threat worse than they'll react to actually the actual death being imminent in a roleplay scenario. What I mean by that is they'll run and they'll seek sanctuary with the bad guys or the bullies. It's what happened in fucking high school. You know, it's instinct.
Yeah.
You know, so they're going to go with the alpha,
Yeah.
they're going to go with the crowd. But then they realise that they're the bad guy. And one thing we tried in Project was we just stayed quiet. And you have noticed this, we stayed quiet, we stayed in the walls, and we watched, observed and stuff, and literally you're doing the same thing every night. You're doing the same routine, you're coming in the same way, you know. That's how we deal with it, you know. And then when that was happening to them who'd switched, they're like, oh no, I died, how? That's not fair. It's like, well, you started mugging people and shooting people, they shot back, you know. Think
Yeah.
about it. But then how
They
that
eventually
changed
got
up.
pissed.
Exactly, and then that dried up, and then you and obviously Matt kind of kicked in with the WMD, and that really changed that up. So that predictability changed, that complacency changed, and it's really good to spice
Well,
stuff.
that's what we wanted. That's what we
Yeah.
wanted. We wanted to, because we saw the bad guys who were acting as the bad guys, you know, before WMD, it was last season. We saw that it was just like, yeah, they go into town, take a couple pot shots, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as somebody from that group died, they were like, it's not fun anymore. Well, like, why? Just change, adapt. You know what I mean? That's why when we went into this WMD or whatever we're doing now, you know, we went into it knowing like we're gonna die. We have one backup kit in case it happens, but if we die twice, guess what? We're back at square one, and that's the fun of the game. As long as we can give someone a memory in the server, so in 2 seasons. My favorite thing is when somebody goes, remember 2 seasons ago when fucking Moves did this? Like, that makes me feel so good that somebody remembers a good roleplay experience that I gave them, you know? And that's what me and Matt wanted to do by starting WMD, you know?
It's pure meta, that. It's disgusting.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, but you're
I'm a
absolutely
bad
right.
man. What do you expect?
Love it, love it. But you're absolutely right. It's memories at the end of the day, and it's stuff that makes people smile. That's it. That's stuff that makes people smile. So, on that then, lore team. What's our thoughts on the lore team? We spoke about it in the background. It's something that a couple of our survivors have been introduced to, and gained benefit from, and tapped into for support. What do we think? Because this is where the lore team is going to be based here. We're going to have a lore team here. We're going to have various assets that we're going to provide a lot of immersion to the community, so that things don't dry up in the same inspired aspect as you guys pursued through the WMD. And obviously that will rotate through a certain group of people, because there needs to be an element of emotional integrity, I think, there, for the meta side of it.
Of course. Yeah.
I'm really excited for some of the ideas that are coming up. Convoys is the Livonia supply company. You know, the convoys from that. If you're needing supplies, you've got to get the security. You know, and that convoy is moving. It has to happen. It's not just going to magically appear in a building. So come on. Yeah, yes, it's a game, but it's a hardcore RP survival game. Yeah. You want a couple of barrels in your little shop? They don't magically appear. This ain't Harry Potter. It needs to come from somewhere. So, you know, that I have no idea what the potential of that could be. You know, what's your guys' thoughts when you guys started the WMD? You know, you're saying you had that. You knew, okay, we're going to get slotted. We're going to put a target on our back.
Yeah.
We're going to, bam, 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 bam. You know.
So we're very excited with this whole convoy idea that the Lord team put together, with what you just said. You know, if you want something done and you want a convoy, hell, you could do it yourself. But guess what? Me and my guys are going to be in the woods waiting for you. You know what I mean? So you have to go out of your way and maybe hire somebody or get a couple of buddies on, or get a couple of buddies that have guns and got your back. And I think it'll cause a little bit more of a tension, but a good tension, not like a constant fear tension, but like an excitement to want to play the game, because it gives players something to do. Like, I've noticed that a couple of my guys even have been like, wow, we're kind of just fucking sitting around and tearing down walls and putting new ones up in different spots. Like, that's what we do with our whole 6-hour day on DayZ. It's kind of boring. We go out and we loot, look for people, can't find anybody, blah, blah, blah. But like, I think this being a lore-based scenario kind of gives some players that are in this community that want a little bit more of that action, a little bit more of that adrenaline pump. It gives them a little bit of an excuse to say like, oh fuck yeah, like Tuesday's the day. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if Tuesday's not going to be the day. So anybody listening, don't
Eh,
go out on Tuesday. Nothing's going to happen. But you know, like, you're going to be sorely disappointed. But I mean, like, yeah, fuck yeah, I can't wait for Tuesday because I get to. It's a mission. You know, it's like kind of like playing Call of Duty, like it's a mission that I get to go do with my friends. You know what I mean?
exactly.
I think it's going to be a lot of excitement.
So here's the thing, it's going to be a case of, right, okay, you say Tony, right, say it was Tony. Remember Tony Rico?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Tony? Remember took his place, Tony has his arms dealership, whatever. He needs to get his weapons from somewhere. So, yeah, he puts his order in, bish bash bosh. The LMA radio system, getting intercepted transmission, convoy leaving XYZ, blah blah blah. But the person ordering it, and this is where we're so hitting the point right now where we can really change the game on everybody's experience, is we now have the establishment that should that person request book a specific time, we can achieve that. We can arrange that, we can deconflict that. So it's on their terms. It's not going to be like a regular thing. It's like, oh no, it's random. So if you're so happy to be awake and you see that boom, all of a sudden there's a convoy and going south of the river from Brenna down, Sabotka and then beyond to Nidec, etc. Oh my god,
Yeah.
opportunity, boom. Unexpected, and it's going to be, it's going to create the adrenaline. It's going to create the high risk. It's going to,
And it goes back to the original rule of the dead zone of this server: is high risk, high reward.
Exactly. And talking about trades, one of the changes we looked at this, well, not one of the changes, but one of the things we've kind of tightened up is trade board as well.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
Rico, you kind of mentioned a few things on that, didn't you, before? How do you think it's working out? Explain for anybody listening. I mean, what have we done? What we kind of refined?
With regards to the trading board, you want to have it run more basically with what you want and need. This is what you're talking about, isn't it?
So it's kind of like less vague, isn't it?
Yes, I think what we want to do is
I still
like you
can't.
said,
Sorry,
it's
I still
hardcore.
can't get over the fact that when I look at you as Viktor, I still want to shoot you. I still remember that time in Adamo. I'm so sorry, but it's still like it's just the voice triggers it. Yeah, the more clarity, isn't it?
Yeah. So we want to have the experience of realism, and using the icons as if your character is using it. You're not using it. You're not using your phone. You want to you don't want to be like sat around and you say you're looking around and you think, oh, I have everything. It's like a joke. I have everything, but I want this one thing, one more thing. So you don't want to type that. You want to. In real life, you would want a specific thing, and you would have what you're going to pay for it. You're not going to have everything. It's supposed to be tough out here. Resources are supposed to be scarce, so realistically, you're not going to have everything. You don't want to put that in your trade board channel. It's what we want to do.
Makes me kind of want to shoot those people, but at the same time, purposely like get in touch with them and say and mention something I know that they genuinely don't have. They don't, it's just that kind of bullshit factor, I suppose. But it's more specific now, so it's like I have this.
Person that wants to buy it.
Yeah, so it's like I have this, or and it'll cost this, or I am looking for this, and I'm willing to pay this, and then take it one to one. Take it away, take it one to one, and chat it out, barter it, or whatever.
Yes, that's right. With the barter board, yeah, that's a really good idea. I like that idea. And also, what I used before, because I noticed when I first started to use the trade board, is that you can say, so I want this item, whatever it is, some armor or something. And what I have, say for example, you don't really have anything very good or anything that you think is normally going to be traded, not something that everybody would want. So, and you don't want to fill, this is why I love the trade board, because you don't want to fill the place where you live, or your base, what you want to call it. You don't want to fill it with everything because you're out looting and you think, oh, somebody else might want that. Maybe I could sell that. When I go out to loot, I only want to get what I know it's difficult sometimes, but I only want to get what it is that I went out for, and then come back, so that I can continue to do my RP and not spend time running around the map looking for everything. So yeah, that's a very good idea. And another thing that I started to use after I saw the good idea of the barter channel is if you want, if you have nothing, you can simply say barter, or you can work for it. So if somebody doesn't like to build and they need a couple of walls built up, you can do that in exchange for this item.
Again, working for stuff as well. So we'll kind of pull us back to the lore team thing. So we kind of went on the assumption, we were talking on the assumption that it's the lore team always going to be doing these convoys. That's completely incorrect, because one thing I think we're going to do with it is put those contracts out. So as much as you can actually go and take an opportunity and hijack something or whatever else, you've got as much opportunity to take that contract honourably, so to speak, and be the person that transports it and make your own deal, arrangement and stuff. Because I think I've tried to push it, and I think it's something that both of you have actually mentioned before, and both of you definitely agree with, is trying to take a lot of the RP away from the office desk when you're on your phone, and actually into the server. When you're awake, then I come. Not when you're, on the treadmill at the gym. You're doing a bench press, and it's like,
My whole weekend has been just desktop fucking RP.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes you find yourself in that moment, and you know what? When you can't avoid it, it's a good way to stay engaged. To be fair, it's your journals, read everybody's journals and stuff, which have absolutely exploded.
I love the journals.
Oh, yeah.
I love them.
So
Totally
and of
love
course
them.
they're now optional. Well, they're optional when we transition to episode 1, or the prologue. Sorry, this is technically our third episode. We had the optional chance of it, and that's actually, I think, proved more popular, and people have been reading each other's journals going, I want a slice of that pie. And that's great, because everybody's like just merging in and just telling a story. That's, I love that. It's really good. But it's a dangerous wormhole, I've noticed now. It's getting a bit busy. It's a dangerous wormhole to fall into 3 days later. It's worse than Reddit, or Facebook Shorts, or TikTok if you ask my wife. Hey, Laura.
Or me.
Yeah, Laura's acting
Hi,
producer
Laura.
right now. Yeah, she's acting producer right now in the background. Yeah, it's just, you're on TikTok right now, aren't you? No? What? She was about to. Yes. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I can't. Do you know what? I can't really laugh. I'm now wearing. What are these called? Turned 32 a week ago, and I'm trying to be hip by wearing my daughter's blue light glasses. Because that's the thing now. Personal trainer being
the
hip.
blue light.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're
Personal trainer being
God, you're so old, man. You're so old.
I was doing some stretches earlier on today. Today was rest day. We did some stretches, and the snowmobile was going on. Everyone's clicking, everyone's cracking. I'm like, yeah, that's it. I just can't sit on a deck chair now. Something's going to snap and break. But yeah.
Let me get my blue light blockers on and watch
God.
TikTok with the kids.
Somebody should have got me a violin. Do you know that? It's a new logo. That's something else that's happened. I've just realised we've got so much to talk about. So we've got a new logo for us, which took a lot of debate, a lot of consultation and stuff like that as well. What do you think of that, gentlemen? Both me and Alfie were wrong. We both had our own version of it. We thought it was interesting, and I thought one thing, he thought another. We thought, let's put it to the community. And okay, and the entire community came up with a third option, which is neither of the two of ours.
I like the one that the community ended up picking. I do. I didn't see much of a difference between the three when I looked, but then I actually paid attention a little bit more instead of just glancing at my phone and man-looking, as my ex would say. And
Man looking.
I do enjoy. It makes more sense, the third option.
given that, as sexist as that is, it's 2022 and I'm not passing judgment. It was you that said it, not me. People should judge you because I know the thing on the internet right now is fucking cancelling everything. This is why we're not broadcasting this on TikTok, right?
Everybody knows what man looking is, and we're all guilty of it.
I'm going to man scan the rest of the content for this because we do have a server blackout in about 10 minutes, which will kind of bring us to the end of this episode, I suppose, as well, to keep it nice, neat and tidy and to tease more to come as well. I'm trying. What else have we had happen? So the new logo. Kill on site wording review. This was an important one. I don't know if you caught up with this week, Darian. I think Rico, you know of this one, don't you? Ultimately, we now have big, lovely green and yellow clouds. One actually just to the east of us right now. The radiation. So we had a KOS rule that within these gas clouds, our speculative ones that we used to have, you had to wear all the gear and all the rest of it, otherwise it was KO site. It's kind of redundant. So we've removed that from the KOS rule. So that whole paragraph's been removed. So ultimately, you know when you're in a gas zone now because, well, you're coughing, spluttering and bleeding, or you're wearing a really funky yellow suit. You know what I mean? So that's been removed. If you are listening to this folk now or later, just have a look at KOS rules. It's nothing significantly changing anything now. It's a non-existent KOS area that we've just removed. LMA public channel, that's now changed as well. We're using the confession bot. It used to be abused about a year and a bit ago, and it kind of got rid of it, or people got rid of it, and it's fine. We're going to try and test the waters out right now. If it gets abused, we'll can it, I think. But yeah, there's now a transmission channel. You go that /confess space, then your message, hit enter, and it'll anonymously post on the LMA radio channel your message. Bear in mind, everybody can see that, and that is in-game knowledge. That's right, gentlemen. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Yes, I love it. That sounds so fucking confident. We've also reviewed their journal wording, saying character bios, while optional, should be at least 200 characters long, 200 words long, rather than character journals must be. Like I say, the dictators we leave to short men with mustaches and uniforms. Sounds about right. Yeah, and the factions addendum, was that you? No, that was all of us.
No, that wasn't.
Factions, yes.
That was that.
Forming a faction, that's this one, yeah. Forming a faction, you will now no longer be able to form a faction with one person. You now need the minimum of 3. But that poses me the question, why do we have a limit on faction members right now? I understand there might have been a reason for it before, but this is a question I want to pose, an ambiguous question. Why is there a limit on it? What's our understanding of that?
Rico? Or Victor, sorry.
Fastball. So this is our AdMod team who are just going, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, straight up.
Why do we have a limit on how many people you can have in a faction?
So that's my question, right? So we have a limit on how many people you can have in a faction. Why? Is it relevant? Do we need it?
No.
Boom, boom, boom. Right, so there we go. So if you are listening to this, we'll ping that out on Discord then, see what people's thoughts are. And if something appears,
what would be a good reason to have it? That's what I'm trying to think.
I don't know. You've got 20 people constantly being cannibals and killing people every 2 minutes.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I didn't understand completely what you were saying. I just put the 2 and 2 together. Yeah, no. The minimum is, but the max, there should absolutely be a maximum faction player, like a player number in a faction. Sorry, I can't speak today.
I don't know, but should it be a specific number or should it be relative to the population?
That's a good question. I mean, population does have, it ebbs and flows, it
does.
It raises and it drops.
Or could that faction, maximum of 10 personnel, have a subsidiary? A vassal, if you like.
Yeah.
Which could be formed.
But I mean, people are just going to use that.
Their own alliance,
People are just going to, I was going to say, that actually makes a good point. Even if we did do, say, a 5-person maximum, people with more than 5 people in their faction right now, say there hypothetically was one with 15 players, right? They would all just split off and make 3 separate factions of, 5 players each, and then just continue playing together doing the same thing anyway. So I don't think having a max number would even, but I don't think it would be productive. I think it would just be a bigger pain in the ass for those players that just want to hop on, call themselves one name, and play together anyway. It just sounds like having a big faction with more steps,
So there we go. So what I'm saying there is so it's the bones and ice cream factor. When you get a tub of ice cream, we don't look for bones because it doesn't exist. Is having that maximum limit there needed to waste their energy and having people sweating about that and worrying about their numbers, or just let people get on with it.
Yeah.
Utilize the turnout convention to that reasonability thing that we talk about, to say, look, okay,
Yeah.
what he's doing right now, guys, being a bit of a dick, can we can it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, or just cool it down or slow it down. Yeah.
So here, that's something we can maybe take on. We can throw to the community this week, and then next week or in the next fortnight or whatever, whenever we can be asked doing another episode 4 that'll be, I think. We'll do that. Don't forget, we are, I think at this time right now, from recording this, episode 3 is not yet on Spotify. I'm going to have a look at that actually after we've recorded this. But again, you can get us on Anchor, get us on Apple as well, iTunes even. And obviously episode 1 stuff's on Spotify right now. Don't forget, definitely subscribe to it. Definitely head to DZXR-P.com. Have a look at the website there. We're just going to fix up the website. We're tightening up now for episode 2. Google is actually great. They keep us updated and tell us what's wrong with the website so we can fix it. And then, don't forget, if you're not even a member and you just randomly stumble across this, just get on the website, join. You'll not regret it. I don't care if you're into RP or not, really. You will enjoy it. You'll learn a lot and you'll experience a lot. Gentlemen, we've got just under 3 minutes to go. Anything to say? Going to come back again. We're going to test out those rocket launchers or grenade launchers.
I will forget this. I always want to ask about. A long time ago, we used to always use these icons in the game. You were talking about using your icon with your phone out of game, but inside the game, actually turning it on and selecting a channel, using it. How does anybody use that anymore? Because it's one of the things I love to do in the game.
Okay, I've noticed that, and I've seen it happening a lot more actually in the last sort of 2 weeks, I think. So there we go. Next time we will look at the use of factions. Let's look at factions in more detail, and we'll look at the use of in-game communications, including the radio, because that will lead nicely into 102.5 Lapina FM and to some business they're going to be offering the community. Buy your radios here. But yeah, awesome. Darian, how about you?
No, honestly, I think we hit all the nails. We hit all the nails on the head as we could, and I think today went well. It was a short one, but it was a good one. I can't wait to do the next one next time. And hang on. Dip.
You hit my car.
I might owe you a new car.
Did you just destroy my car?
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, Darian has just lobbed a 40mm high explosive grenade at my car tent, which has my Sarka in it. I am about to slot him for 600 nails. He better hope he wakes up from blackout. Thanks for joining us on 102.5 FM on Lapina FM in-game, and then also here on Twitch. As you can see, that's cut out now for everybody listening in-game. This is a blackout. This is a server reset. But the podcast will be up on Spotify soon as. We'll be back again within the fortnight with some more stuff. I am going to go back and, of course, check out the situation to do with my car tent. In fact, you know what? Let's check that out now before we disappear. Here he is. Are we talking? Are we talking? Can you hear me? I don't know. We're still live, dude. What? That's all going to despawn, isn't it? Everything that was in that car tent, if it's destroyed, and the car that's inside it. The internet is my witness. Everybody saw that. Screw your 3 to 5 minute rule break report. Everybody pay attention, okay? Hashtag help desk or hashtag rule break reports on the Discord. It'll teach you everything you need to know to deal with idiots like this, okay? All you do, okay, and this is a common question that people get confused on, is the evidence that are needed. Whether you do something, whatever engagement, whatever interaction you do, cover your arse, okay, even if you're in the right, 3 to 5 minute video. There's a reason we call this guy Flash Gordon. That's because he was using flash grenades. quite clearly his involvement with Mother Nature stroke Earth over the last few weeks has got to his brain cells, and he's now evolved to 40 mil high explosives. I preferred shooting them at you lot in rest check, not when you're at my, guests at a radio station below the place. Imagine that front page news at your local radio station. Some band comes. I mean, yeah, we trash hotel rooms, but check this out. Under some grenade launcher, kaboom! Jesus, yeah. Oh, so yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate it. But best of luck with what you got going on, dude, as well. And yeah, I'll look after your guys, I suppose. Outstanding. Well, that is now formally the end of the DZXR-Podcast, episode 3, from me, Andy, from Darian, and from Rico Mierto, who is away now, asleep, for the blackout. But yeah, that on that bombshell, have a great week. All right. No, it's not all right. This is terrifying. I'm going to cry now. 3, 2, 1, we're out. No, we're not.